where we are, we're in a new bull market. I'm convinced of it. Silver still, in my view, needs to confirm gold, meaning that, like the industrials, confirm the transports or vice versa. I like to see silver outperforming gold for confirmation. It hasn't yet, in my view, because I use 70 as the marker, the gold silver ratio of 70. Now, that's my number. So there isn't an exact number, but the idea is sound. I want both of them to do well. And silver is caught up to gold somewhat, but still, in my view, is going to outperform.
Silver prices exhibit strength, trading near $31 in Tuesday's Asian session. The white metals rally comes as expectations of a Federal Reserve rate cut in September solidify. Despite a slight pullback on Monday from Friday's high of $31.49, silver remains poised for further gains, with last week's bullish reversal setting the stage for continued upward momentum. DavidMorgan, widely known as the Silver Guru, believes we are entering a new bull market for precious metals. Morgan, a regular speaker at investment conferences and a sought-after expert by financial media, points to two key indicators for confirmation: silver outperforming gold, using a gold-silver ratio of 70 as a benchmark, and the strong performance of mining equities. Recent market activity supports Morgan's outlook. Gold stocks moved up in unison last Friday, with some significant players reaching new 52-week highs. A Canadian-based gold and silver miner notably popped to a new high, maintaining its position above the 50-day moving average since March lows. While inflation concerns may be driving some of this movement, other factors are also at play. Morgan emphasizes the unique position of silver in the market. While gold is valuable primarily as a monetary metal and for jewelry, silver boasts a wide range of industrial applications in addition to its monetary role. This dual nature of silver could be a significant factor in its potential outperformance. The industrial demand for silver will significantly drive its price in the coming years. The Silver Institute forecasts global silver demand to reach a near-record 1.2 billion ounces in 2024, up 1% from last year. This growth is primarily fueled by industrial applications, particularly in the booming solar energy sector. Please tune in for our exploration of DavidMorgan's expert analysis. Don't miss out on future content. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay in the loop. We appreciate your support.
How do you value something? And, some of us believe there's a free market out there. There's some aspects that are free, but really almost all markets are managed in one way or another. But you get to the value of something. I use this rather corny analogy, but if I'm going to interview someone to be an assistant and all they can do is a Word document, okay, that's gold. Gold does one thing. It's money. It's jewelry or money, but even jewelry is money. I mean, you can melt it down and you can trade a gold necklace to get out of a pinch or whatever. Whereas silver has the attributes of, taking shorthand, knowing Word, knowing how to use AI, greeting people in person. I mean, all these aspects. It would be an assistant that was beyond belief that can do all these things and would really, really benefit, my wherewithal. And yet, because silver has all these industrial aspects that are absolutely necessary, they're essential to our well-being, it's valued so much less than gold, when in reality, the value it promotes to society is so numerous relative to what gold does. It's unfathomable, yet it's priced, in my view, incorrectly. And I think the main reason for that is, if you go back to The Wizard of Oz, Frank Baum's book, as a metaphor for going from a bimetallic standard in the late 1880s to a gold-only standard. The Wizard of Oz is a huge metaphor for that. Once silver was put in its place by the bankers that said this isn't money anymore, it's a commodity, that I think has been a detrimental effect on discovery or price discovery of silver, because it's traded for years pretty much near the cost of production. Now, to be fair, gold also has traded pretty much near the cost of production for years. So both of them have been demonetized. It's just that silver got a head start of being demonetized. So I just want to get that out in the open. As far as where we are, we're in a new bull market. I'm convinced of it. Silver still, in my view, needs to confirm gold, meaning that, like the industrials, confirm the transports or vice versa. I like to see silver outperforming gold for confirmation. It hasn't yet, in my view, because I use 70 as the marker, the gold-silver ratio of 70. Now, that's my number. So there isn't an exact number, but the idea is sound. I want both of them to do well. and silver has caught up to gold somewhat, but still, in my view, is going to outperform. So once we get to a gold-silver ratio of 70 or lower, then I think we've got confirmation. And the third confirmation, and you and I both pretty much specialize in this part of the market, and that's the underlying mining equities. Because in most bull markets, the equities actually lead or signal the fact that the metals are going up into a new bull market. Yet this time around, they've been so depressed, so unloved, so hated, so looked over that on a commodities to stock basis, they're at a low. On a gold to gold stock basis, they're at a low. And yet they're really about the only value play left in the stock market, ironically.
As the world grapples with an unprecedented $91 trillion in government debt, financial experts and economists are sounding the alarm about the potential consequences for global living standards. This staggering figure, nearly equivalent to the entire global economy, has been exacerbated by pandemic-related spending and threatens to undermine economic stability even in wealthy nations like the United States. DavidMorgan, a renowned financial analyst, emphasizes the critical importance of understanding the actual state of the global economy. Morgan contends that the economy is contracting rather than expanding, a perspective that starkly contrasts the narratives often presented by political leaders and mainstream media. Despite the severity of the situation, politicians worldwide seem reluctant to address the mounting debt crisis, particularly in a year marked by numerous elections. Instead of proposing necessary but potentially unpopular measures such as tax increases or spending cuts, many are making extravagant promises that could further strain economic resources and potentially trigger a new wave of inflation or even a financial crisis. Morgan advises individuals to focus on personal growth and community support rather than becoming entangled in political divisions. This approach aligns with the need for citizens to take proactive steps to protect their financial well-being in the face of potential economic turmoil. Let's get back to the interview.
I mean, there's an adage out there that there's nothing more powerful than the truth, that there's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. So speaking truth to power, even on a social media like a Twitter or a YouTube or Rumble or some of these alternatives that aren't censored, I never dreamed that the internet would be censored. When I made that video, I made the presumption that, we'd still have free speech. And of course, we don't any. But it's come back somewhat. Regardless, truth to power. So yes, because that idea that, the truth will set you free. If you really understand that the world's economic condition is a contraction rather than an expansion, that you have to be responsible for what you can control, that every day the art of living revolves around being centered in a position of where you are really complete with a spiritually fit attitude toward yourself and others, where you can be what you're supposed to be without getting too discombobulated about, if you're red or you're blue or you're neutral or, what this political class person has to do. To me, it's a waste of time mostly, but that's my personal view. And we already covered it. But if you can be spiritually fit and go about what you can control and work on yourself and others, in other words, do what you're meant to do and not get too taken away. There are some social media outlets that will help to educate you or at least question your view or maybe enhance it or give you guidance to grow even further. Because the more we get into the reality of what we can do and how we can help each other, then that is really what I think our best battle plan, if you want to call it that, is. And in my documentary, silversunrise.tv, when I looked it up on the internet, I was not shocked, but I was a little bit taken back because when I found out, according to Google, I'm not saying it's accurate, the number one stressor across the planet is money. It's a control mechanism. The money powers control it. They control how much comes in. They control what costs, the cost of money. They control who can get a loan and who can't. And most people have to have it to survive. And that's a lot of power over people. And of course, I want to do what I've always strived to do, and that's put the money power back in the hands of the people. And the only way I know at present to do it is through creating our own or using God's money. So obviously, I'm a precious metals or honest money guy, but I'm not anti-crypto. I mean, crypto has come to the fore because people are trying to take care of themselves and circumvent the money powers and put that exchange mechanism where we exchange our labor with each other without a frickin' bank. So I'm probably off topic already, but that's how I feel about
That's all right, Dave. I'm unfortunately pretty much against crypto, but we'll save that for another day when we
it. Well,
talk.
I'm going to interject. I'm not a big fan of it. If you want to know my true view on crypto, go to my website, hit the blog tab, and go to the crypto. Type in crypto conspiracy in the search engine. I have 30 podcasts on it and what I really don't like about it. No, my point, Peter, was that people try to do what they can to circumvent it.
Oh, I
Do
am.
I agree with most of cryptos? Absolutely not. I'm aligned with one that is gold and silver backed. But even in that case, it's a much more difficult situation than I ever imagined when I got involved. So just so you know, I don't want to leave with you thinking,
Sure.
but I am thinking. I always think, I try to I feature myself as a fairly deep thinker, and it's just what does crypto really mean? And the underlying set is, oh, we got to escape the banking cartel. But do we really? Because Bitcoin's been usurped by Mastercard. I mean, most of these big ones are taken over by the money powers anyway, but I'll give it back to you. Just want to set that clear.
As the global debt crisis unfolds and governments struggle to address mounting fiscal challenges, investors and citizens wonder about the best ways to protect their wealth and financial futures. Could gold and silver emerge as safe havens in an increasingly unstable economic landscape? Share your perspective in the comment section. If the video resonates with you, join our community by subscribing to our channel and enabling notifications with the bell icon. Thank you for being a part of our community.